Marcus Terentius Varro was one of the greatest scholars, writers, and intellectuals of ancient Rome. Born in 116 BC in the town of Reate, northeast of Rome, he lived during one of the most turbulent periods of Roman history, witnessing the fall of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. Unlike famous Roman generals who sought glory on the battlefield, Varro dedicated his life to preserving knowledge. His extraordinary curiosity led him to study history, religion, language, agriculture, philosophy, literature, and science, earning him the reputation of being the most learned Roman of his age. Ancient writers admired him not only for the enormous number of books he produced, but also for the breadth of subjects he explored. Varro received an excellent education in both Rome and Greece, where he studied under some of the finest philosophers of the time. His studies introduced him to Greek philosophy, rhetoric, grammar, and history, allowing him to combine Greek intellectual traditions with Roman practical thinking. This broad education shaped his lifelong belief that knowledge should serve society by preserving its traditions while improving everyday life. Throughout his career, Varro became known as a scholar who carefully examined both Greek and Roman culture without blindly favoring either one. Although remembered primarily as a writer, Varro also played an active role in Roman politics and military affairs. He supported the Roman Republic during the civil wars and served under the famous general Pompey the Great. After Pompey's defeat by Julius Caesar, Varro found himself on the losing side of the conflict. Fortunately, Caesar recognized his remarkable learning and chose to pardon him rather than punish him. This act allowed Varro to continue his scholarly work, preserving countless aspects of Roman history and culture that might otherwise have been lost. Varro was an astonishingly productive author. Ancient sources claimed that he wrote more than 600 books, covering nearly every field of knowledge available in the ancient world. Although only a small portion of his writings has survived, the titles alone demonstrate the incredible range of his interests. He wrote about Roman history, grammar, literature, law, religion, geography, education, mathematics, medicine, architecture, and philosophy. His work served as an encyclopedia of Roman civilization, providing later generations with valuable information about customs, institutions, and beliefs that would otherwise have disappeared. Among his surviving works, De Lingua Latina, on the Latin language, remains one of the most important studies of the Latin language ever written. In this work, Varro explored the origins of Latin words, explained grammatical rules, and examined how language reflected the history and development of Roman society. Although only part of the original 25 books survives today, the work remains an invaluable source for understanding classical Latin and the evolution of Roman speech. Modern linguists continue to study it because it preserves information unavailable anywhere else. Another masterpiece that survives almost complete is Rerum Rusticarum, on agriculture, written during the final years of his life. This practical guide discusses farming, animal husbandry, vineyards, orchards, and estate management. Drawing on both personal experience and earlier agricultural traditions, Varro offered advice that combined scientific observation with practical wisdom. His detailed descriptions provide modern historians with an extraordinary picture of rural life, farming techniques, and the economic foundations of the late Roman Republic. Varro also devoted enormous attention to Roman religion and mythology. His lost work, Antiquitates Rerum Divinarum, Antiquities of Divine Things, was considered one of the most comprehensive studies of Roman religion ever produced. Although the original text no longer exists, later Christian writers, especially Augustine, quoted large sections of it while discussing pagan beliefs. Through these quotations, historians have recovered valuable information about Roman gods, temples, festivals, priesthoods, and religious traditions. Without Varro's careful research, much of Rome's early religious history would have been permanently forgotten,